Showtime. All right. Yay, we are live. Hi, everybody. It's the CosTalk Live crew here today, and we're talking about Disney Cosplay Groups, and we have all of our Disney pals represented here. With us for guests today, we have, I'm going to point this way because I got to get used to like the backwards. We have Craftily Ever After, we have Princess Sweet Pea, and then we have we have Head in the Club cosplay. I was like, can I twist my wrist that much? I can. Anyways. So hello and welcome and thank you for joining us today. It is indeed Sunday. And if I'm talking a little funny, I'm sorry. I happen to have a problem with my tooth right now. So it's something that comes like, I get it like twice a year. Yay for having that tooth. Okay, so why don't I go ahead and start with introductions? I'm actually going to start with Head in the Clouds, and we're just going to do this little backwards circle. So, have you introduced yourself?
Hello. Like she said, I'm in Head in the Clouds cosplay. Been cosplaying. I think this will be year 4. This Tucson Comic-Con will be 4. So.
Nice.
Awesome. TCC is so great.
Yeah, that's where the bug got me. I didn't get the con crud, I just got the cosplay crud.
It's a good bug to have.
I got the bug from there, and then I've been doing it ever since.
Awesome. Thank you very much for introducing yourself. So now we are going to Princess Sweet Pea.
Hi, I'm Princess Sweet Pea. My name is also Allison, but I don't really know how long I've been cosplaying for. I sort of remember doing it vaguely. I did like my first one, I think, like official cosplay when I was probably 12. So I don't know if that counts. I don't know. So maybe like
counts. You did cosplay, then it counts.
Okay.
100%.
So maybe like 9 years. But I've been doing it more like frequently over the past like 4 years. And it mostly consists of Disney cosplay, and I work as like a Disney princess, so I don't know if that counts either, but
It does.
Yeah, definitely does.
Like cosplay only like to the max there.
Yeah.
Put it on a resume, it counts.
Yeah. Okay. Well, perfect.
Yeah. All right. Craftily Ever Crafter.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. My name is Kat. I also go by Craftily Ever Crafter. I did a little bit of investigation, and I want to say that I started doing cosplay around 2010. I did a Sailor Mars costume with my friend, and then we also did a Dragon Ball Z thing, but I didn't know about cosplay, so I just thought, we're dressing up for fun, and it's on Halloween, and I love it. And then since then, I've done just gone to cons for fun. I love group cosplays. I think they're so much fun as a team and stuff, and seeing something come up to life. And I'm excited to see where this journey goes.
Awesome.
Yay! Yes, we are all excited to see the cosplay journey because they're all different for every one of us, which is why we like having multiple guests on here and hosts, so we can give you that nice kind of, this is my experience.
And just watching the cosplay community as a whole grow is so fun.
Yes.
So fun to watch it grow and become more prevalent.
Yes.
So
100%. All right, Amber, it's your turn.
hello, I am Amber Brite. I am a professional prop maker and cosplayer here in Phoenix, Arizona, and I've been cosplaying since 2000, 7, 8, something like that. I do primarily Star Wars stuff, but this is my favorite Disney cosplay. It's Milo, mostly because it's the most comfortable cosplay I own. So
Yeah, cosplay comfort is super key.
yeah.
Be
There's
comfortable.
not many out there that are like, not many outfits that you can be like, oh, I'm comfortable in this all day. And
Yeah,
it can't have pockets, so
Yeah, no, it's very true. Oddly enough, a lot of Disney cosplays tend to be pretty comfortable for me, but some of them are not. So it depends on the character.
I think it depends on the wig too, because there's
yeah, they have some big hair.
such big hair. Such big hair.
I am Sam from ThermoCosplay. I've been cosplaying since 2014, so I think that makes 7 years now. You guys know me. I'm here every week. What's up? If you don't know me,
This is kind of like your baby, so like I hope
well,
people
yeah,
know you.
Jessica came up with it, and then we both just kind of ran with it. So yeah. So we've got a couple people saying hello. Sean says hi, hello, Sean, and Chris says hi, Chris, and then Anthony says, oh no, we lost someone. It's okay, they'll come back. Hello to everybody's guests, and that they love all of our Disney costumes. So
Thank
you.
Allison.
And Chris says, yeah, Amber, good choice of source material for your costume.
One of the least, like the most underrated movies ever. Like,
yeah,
live action Atlantis. Come on, live action Atlantis.
We should tell everybody who we all are, just in case someone doesn't know. So, Head in the Clouds, who are you cosplaying today?
Nice.
Well, Vanessa, technically, I'm doing the human version.
Yeah.
Even got a little. Oh no, wait, wrong shoulder. How do I? Okay, I'm messing that up. But there's a tentacle here, which is fun.
Oh, yeah.
But yes, my favorite Disney character of all time, ever since I was a child. So I wanted to do her some honor today, and wear. I call it Manessa. Yeah.
That is perfect.
Nice.
Manessa.
Mm-hmm.
Allison?
I'm doing Cinderella as in her little like maid thing.
Her rags
Yes,
outfit.
very comfortable.
Rag to riches.
That's
Literally.
where she cleans and the bubbles and all the singing remains one of my favorite scenes, just for how trippy it is and how like if you're an adult and you go back and watch it, and you're like, okay.
Yeah. 100%. Kian?
Oh, I am portraying Raya from Raya and the Last Dragon. It's the latest Disney movie. I saw it on Disney Plus and I was hooked. All the feelings.
If you guys haven't seen it, go watch it. It's so good.
Yes.
We won't talk about how it ends, but it's amazing. Go watch it.
Good point. Good point.
But it's amazing. All right, Amber?
I am Milo. Well, Femme Milo. So, from my favorite Disney movie, Atlantis.
I love Atlantis like so much. Oh
yeah, it's really...
and then I am Laurel Lightfoot from Onward. So, Mama Elf.
Hey, Mom.
Hey guys.
Like badass mom.
Better have taken your vitamins and done your workouts today. Anyways, so today we're just going to be talking about Disney cosplays, and we'll start off with discussing, since Disney cosplay, a lot of the time when you see Disney cosplayers, it's in groups, and it's because we travel as a pack. Why do we travel as a pack? To handle the children and their parents. It's not just the children, it's also their parents. Anytime you dress in a Disney costume, and I'm sure everyone else can kind of explain their first experience, that'll be one thing we'll talk about. My first experience in a Disney cosplay, I'm pretty sure, I think the first time I dressed up in Disney was Snow White, actually. I did Merida after that, but pretty sure it was Snow White, and holy smokes, like I was like, okay, this is a safe bet, nobody's going to be interested in Snow White because she's old school. I'm going to be okay. No, it was like even worse because the parents were like, the children were off with like the newer Disney cosplayers, and the parents would just not stop following me. So it was one of those things that I'm like, oh, okay. So I learned at that moment in time that I not only have to watch out for the children, but you also have to watch out for the parents. I was not familiar with that. Yeah, so I'll share like the first time I dressed up in Disney cosplay was actually at a Wreck-It Ralph premiere. And there's a whole
This is my first time as a Disney princess too, by the way.
Yeah, so there was a lot of us.
There were a lot of you.
And it was definitely one of those moments in time where like we just I mean, we had plenty of kids coming up to us, and there's a lot of interaction. But it was funny because the photographer that was following this, she's like, I didn't take as many pictures of you because you kept talking to the parents. I'm like, they kept talking to me. Like it was, it was like, no, they kept talking to me. So yeah, that was pretty wild. But you know, it happens, I guess.
Yes.
So what were your first cosplay experiences? Who would like to go first talking about their first Disney experience? Or something that you remember as your first? Like, I know that sometimes it gets mixed up. And so you're like, what you would consider your first experience that kind of made an impact on you? Uh-oh.
Anyone? I'll go first.
I'm gonna have you go. You look ready. You're like, I have an idea. I think I know.
Phoenix Comic Con 18, 19, 20. Yeah, because 20 was canceled. So Phoenix Comic Con 18. I had dressed up as Disney characters before. I've been in theater growing up. Halloween was obviously a lot of our favorite holidays. You know, kind of gateway into this. But a fellow cosplayer named Productions was having a Disney meetup, and I was like, ooh, I'm in Phoenix. Let me wear 4 layers of clothing as Gaston from the live action Beauty and the Beast.
Isn't some of it like velvet too, like really thick stuff?
I was drenched by the end with the wig, the shirt, yes, the coat, everything. No, but I wasn't recognized as much, you know, by my own. I still looked, you know, like Gaston and everything. But as soon as like, you know, I found a Belle or a Beast or another Disney character, and then all the other Disney characters would kind of conglomerate, and then we were just taking pictures for like, you know, we'd stand there for 20 minutes taking pictures with people because everyone just kind of met at that point. They're like, oh, there's Disney, there's people taking pictures here. Oh, I like your costume, but I'm also Disney, so take a picture with me. And then everyone stays. You have a meetup if you unplanned. But yeah, that was my guest on. That's a fellow cosplayer. When me and Sam both worked with a charity cosplay, and I was Disney that day. And that's Starlit Memory as Belle, and I was guest on. Yeah, that was my my first, I guess, Disney cosplay that really is worth a note. And I still have it, still wear it, still love it, but definitely not a summer costume.
It's hidden in the darkness somewhere. I think that's the thing too, is like when you're a cosplayer and like you do something, you're like, I really like this experience, and then you keep it, but you remember how hot it was to wear, and then you're like, do I want to wear this again? Ooh, no. But I do, but I don't. And so then you do things like this where you hide in your room that's like AC, and you're like, okay, I'll stream with it, but I don't think I want to wear it outside.
I'm not going outside.
So what about you, Allison? Is there like a memory that stands out for you?
I think I did like my first I went to a convention. I took a break from going to conventions, and I went back in 2019, and I had remembered conventions really well, and I remembered that I was so exhausted by the end that I wanted to wear something really comfortable. So I wore a nightgown, the Cinderella nightgown thing, and I think that's the first sort of like cosplay I did.
I remember that because you were hanging out with us. You were hanging out with Jess and I was like, I love it. It's Cindy.
And it was so comfortable, but a lot of people, I think I was missing like a prop, but I had like a pillow, and I was like trying to make it clear that I was Cinderella, but I don't think a lot of people I think thought I was Wendy, which definitely is a
Oh yeah, no, I was like, and that's one thing too. I said Cindy, and someone's like, "Oh yeah, Wendy." I was like, "No, Cindy, like Cinderella, the other D."
Yeah. And then I think the same weekend I borrowed Jessica's Ariel costume, and I think I got sort of the most response with that, just because it's freaking Ariel. So yeah.
I think this is it right here.
Yeah, that was definitely one of the highlights of my career. But
you look beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
And like, what did it feel like coming back after taking a break?
I think before I didn't really know how to do conventions, and then I was hanging out with people who sort of like knew how to do conventions. And I was there the whole day, and it was just like, before I would only spend like a couple hours there because I didn't really know what to do and I didn't really have friends or whatever. But it was a lot of fun, and I miss it so much. Like, I know Sabaton is opening, and I really want to go, but I'm so nervous. Like, I have no idea if I should go or not.
That's one thing for those of you thinking about Sabaton, and this is the owner is working with the CDC, with the government. He's being very, very careful. He wants to follow guidelines. So if anyone's going to do it right, he's the one person that I would trust to do it right. And he's already got, like, if it's the numbers are too high, he's already got, things planned to make adjustments on the fly.
That sounds, I just don't know, like, how many people are gonna go, because it's like more fun if there are more people there.
I bet that they're gonna be like a mask mandate. I've heard rumors, no confirmation, that you actually also may have to be vaccinated in order to attend, which I think would be good enforcing that. But
I'm actually getting my second shot today, so
yay!
I have both
planned a nice chill evening. My husband didn't notice anything with his second shot, but I was on the couch watching Disney movies, just kind of super whiny all night long.
I had brain fog. Like, my second dose, I couldn't focus. My first dose, I had a reaction, but I also historically have reactions. So it wasn't severe enough to go to the hospital. But just take it easy. So we do have some comments about Matt and Allison. And Sean says that you're friends with the Disney princess. So familiar with that stuff. And happy birthday, Sean. It's Sean's birthday. So happy birthday. Deanne says that she likes your gender bent about Matt. And speaking of gender swap, Chris says that there's a new brand of fake boobs, or you want a brand of fake. Oh yeah. Anybody has questions about fake boobs, just message me. We're good. I have a collection. And then Sean had a question for you, Allison. Being friends with the Disney princess, and of course with the characters, the fur characters, performance characters, what is it like when you see them in different outfits?
Should probably explain what friends with means too.
Yeah. Do you want to explain that too?
Yeah. So being friends with a Disney character, it means that you portray that Disney character professionally, like for money, and so like kids think that you are, or like the whole point is that it's like the Disney parks with like the face characters and everything. So they'll say that they're friends with that character. But what do you mean, like, when I see them in different costumes?
So he says Disney princess, and of course the fur characters, as all face performers start off as like a fur character. What is it like when you see them in different cosplays?
Like,
I'm assuming to like maintain the magic. I'm assuming that like you're working with the same person.
Cinderella one day and then Aurora the next day, type of thing.
Or you see like Cinderella, and then all of a sudden you see like Mickey Mouse, but Cinderella's in that Mickey Mouse, like stuff like that.
Okay, so like if I see the same kid, but I'm different like characters.
Yeah.
I have, so because I've been working for the same company so long, I think that I have seen the same kids a couple times in different like costumes. I don't think that they're able to like notice. Maybe they do. I'm sure like older kids do, but like my boss's kids have seen me in different costumes many, many times, and they still haven't picked up on it. I'm sure it varies from kid to kid, but
that's the magic of Disney.
Well, and then even Sean says that like seeing different people, and I mean I can speak about this, seeing different people in cosplays at conventions, like I am constantly mistaken for somebody else. Like people, I will go and talk to them and they'll look at me weird, like, who are you? And I have to I've learned now that I have to say it's Sam. Because there's so many people who don't realize it's Sam. Because I have a habit of body modification where I wear really tight corsets and then big bosoms or big butts, or then I completely make myself masculine. So like I'm constantly changing my physique, and so people aren't recognizing me. So I'm assuming it's the same thing for you. You're going to have to be like, you walk up to someone because you recognize their voice most of the time. And you talk to them, and then they're just like, Who are
yeah.
you?
Yeah. And I also changed my voice too, like I have a pretty deep voice, so that doesn't really fly. I mean, it just doesn't sound Disney princessy. I love deep voices, so don't get me wrong, but I think that also I tried to change my voice for different characters. So I think that probably also adds on to it. And also like the wigs. I don't know. I feel like it would be obvious to me, but I wear such heavy makeup that I'm a kid fooler. What can I say?
That's a good thing. Like there's some characters that don't require a lot of makeup, right? And so it's very easy. Yeah, I mean, like Raya and Milo, like, yeah, you don't want to do too much makeup because they have a very natural look. And then same thing with honestly Manessa, like human Ursula wasn't very like there wasn't a whole lot of makeup on human, but not like human Ursula. So, but when it comes to Cinderella and some of the older animated characters, they were so the style was so dramatic and the eyes were so dramatic. The makeup really is required to give it that essence.
I think like old Hollywood when I'm doing like Cinderella or Aurora. I think like old Hollywood, like Marilyn Monroe, they really paint their face on. And and actually you were talking about Snow White earlier, and that's been like a dream cosplay because our company doesn't have Snow White, and she's my favorite princess. I don't know why, she just is. But like I am waiting in the mail for that cosplay right now, and I'm just so excited.
That costume was literally I took a long sleeve blue velvet shirt, and then I took old leftover material and just threw it together.
And he looks great.
I mean, you can use a lot of things, like, because thankfully Disney princesses, actually, the ones from like the old Hollywood era, they did have pretty simple outfits because the animation took so much time, so they simplified a lot of things. So Kitty Ann, exactly, more about the silhouette. So Kitty Ann, what would you say was your first like Disney cosplay experience?
Oh, well, my first year moving to Arizona, I did also join a princess company. So I've been doing that on and off. God, what year is it? For over 10 years? But right now I'm doing more digital, like the digital magical mirror rather than the in-person kid parties. And it's really hard picking a favorite memory, but I'd say that, it's me. But I think one of my favorite magics is when you interact with a child and they're usually very, very shy, and just seeing them come out of their shell and just their eyes light up, and it's just you're making their whole magical experience. It hits me in the feels. I love children so much. I mean, I also taught kids for on and off a couple of years, so I like that I can still incorporate that when I am friends with a character. And also, thank you for having people explain about being friends with a character, because I think I mentioned to my work that I was best friends with like Snow White and Moana and stuff, and they're like, oh, that's cool that you're friends with them.
And I did not understand what you were saying.
I think it goes to one of kind of the defining traits of Disney cosplay, where like you have anime cosplays, you have, I do sci-fi video game cosplays. I feel like the bar for staying in character and maintaining the magic for kids is so much higher with Disney cosplays, because these are characters that not only have adults grown up with, but kids are right there learning and bonding with. Like, you more than other types of cosplays, like not like interacting with kids is so important to do well with Disney cosplays.
And that's the thing we want to mention too. Like, if you put on a Disney cosplay, there is no ifs, ands, or buts. You are going to have a child approach you. And if you are not comfortable with children, that is where the group comes helpful, because you can get another princess or a prince or another character to distract that child. Somebody to distract that child while you make your escape. But I suggest please don't wear Disney cosplays if you're not prepared to be approached by children.
Absolutely.
It's unfair telling them no.
Because it's more of the play. Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. Yeah, I was just saying it's the same with like a superhero. It's iconic. It's worldwide. No matter the language, they may have seen it in another language, but they know who Raya is. They know who Cinderella is. So yeah, it's a widespread for sure.
Yeah,
and like imagine. Sorry.
Go ahead.
And like I just can't imagine like going to a convention and a Disney cosplay, not being comfortable with kids or whatever, and then because that kid actually thinks that you're the character. And so I can't imagine being like, I'm sorry, like I'm not actually the character that you think that I am, and that completely breaks apart the whole like thing for them. Like that's it. Like there isn't going back from that. And I see that all the time at like parties where like I'll go in for the birthday girl who's like, 5 to 7 years old, and then there'll be like older kids there, and they tell her that I'm not real, and she's like, "It's so bad," and I'm like,
"Don't be that person. Let people do things. Let people."
Well, and the thing is, there's ways to counteract that too. What you can do is you can take the child aside and say they've ran out of pixie dust. And that's what happens to individuals who no longer believe anymore, is they've run out of pixie dust. And so there's little things that a lot of performers I've seen do too to try and bring the magic back to the child. Because then the child will be like, the adult, like, the adult or the grumpy teenager will be like, they're not real. The child will be like, you ain't got no pixie dust, I'm out. And like, they'll just go, right? Because when they want to believe, they don't care. So
I will try that, because usually when they're like, are you real? I'm like, well, are you real? Well, then of course I'm real too. And like that kind of, I don't know, grounds them maybe. I don't know if that works. Usually they drop it after that, but
yeah, I mean, you can do that. Or the reason I say pixie dust is because it's used so often, or some kind of magic is used so often in Disney, that even kids who like may not necessarily know it are very familiar with it. They're like, okay, I got this. So
that's a good one.
Yeah, there you go. You could just say that Ursula cursed them and they can't see the magic. Like, who knows? But we have some more comments, and then I think we got Kitty Ann. You're frozen. If you can still hear us. Oh, you're coming back. Cool. You're back. Hey.
Oh, well.
I secretly got a fan. We have some comments. We've got P. Rodriguez saying that when we first started going to conventions, their youngest was shy, but then they saw a Disney princess and they became more comfortable. And so that's the thing too, is kids in big conventions for the first time may be incredibly nervous, and when they see something that they they idolize or they associate with, or something that makes them comfortable, just be very polite to them, even if you don't know how to interact. Like, I am not the best kid person, but for some reason I just treat them like little adults and everything's fine.
Questions. Like that's my go-to with kids, is if they're being shy, just ask them questions, like easy questions to ease them in, and then, hopefully they loosen up.
And we have Raul that says they like to also maintain character and try not to break from it, just to help the child believe. Let's see, there was someone that also cosplayed Edna Mode a couple of years ago, had the same effect on like adults with Disney princesses, because like, I don't know, Edna Mode, Snow White, some of the old Hollywood princesses, adults really just they're like, yes. And then Sean says that he has a friend who worked for WDW and was friends with Snow White, and they're very strict on maintaining the magic. So improvisation is very important. And even if you're just going to a convention to have fun, or you're at like a little craft show that allows cosplay, because I know we have out here, we have like first Fridays, second Fridays, third Fridays at different cities, and sometimes we'll do cosplay events. And so just be mindful of anytime you're doing a Disney costume. It could be a character that's a princess or a prince, it could be a superhero, it could be an elf. I mean, it could be just about anything. Just be mindful of how you might impact that person's reality.
Yeah,
because I mean, and again, groups are the easiest way to avoid problems where you're uncomfortable, because you can also reach out to your group members and be like, what should I say, or what should I do? And you can be like, one moment, I need to speak to so-and-so. And like, you'll do little whispers, and that actually usually excites kids, because they're like, oh, what are they talking about? And you're probably like, what do I do? The child has no idea. They think that you're coming up with some kind of scheme, and they're excited.
Princess grits. They have no clue.
Yep. So, for instance, like we kind of talked about like how you guys got started in Disney cosplay. What would you say is your favorite Disney cosplay experience in a group setting with a lot of people that just, wow, it like really cemented the fact that, you know what, I'm going to keep cosplaying as a Disney character?
Do you want to go backwards and start with Kitty?
Yeah, we'll start with Kitty. Please, no!
The most recent one I can think of, it happens to be the Wreck-It Ralph get together that you showed in the pictures. It was for the second Wreck-It Ralph movie, and we all got to be inside, which in Arizona is so nice to have a Disney group because in the summertime the parties get really hot outside. Everything's just melting, except for we did a pool party one time and that was okay. But this one was great because we were inside and, you know, everyone who's watching the movie is pretty much familiar with the characters. And
love it.
Not everyone in this group knew each other too. I want to say it was my first time meeting a couple of them, and we just made lifelong friendships, and it was so great.
I think I knew like half the people. Like I knew who everyone was from social media, but I only met half the people in person. So yeah,
that's so fun.
Yeah, it was pretty cool because it's just like, wow, now like you've got, and this is a good thing because now you have more resources. Like you can reach out to people if you want to do a Disney group and be like, hey, I remember you did this. Would you be willing to join me, or would you be interested in joining me? So.
And then I really enjoyed doing the muses too. I think that was for WonderCon. I don't remember which year.
that was this past year. Well, not this past year, but the past real year that we had, not the past pandemic year.
19?
Yeah,
I think that was 19.
Gotcha. Yeah. Oh, that was so much fun.
Yeah,
I like that.
That was crazy. Like those, I mean, we've shown the pictures on here a couple times, and even the skit, and it's like, wow. Well, and that's another thing. Sean brought up something about Spider-Man being like one of the next costumes, and yeah, that's something you have to remember now. Is technically Marvel is Disney, so the magic is important here. Yes. So be very mindful of maintaining the magic, and you'll be good. But yeah, Marvel, it's kind of cool too because like the universe, you know, you've got like is expanding so much. You've got Star Wars and Marvel, and I was like, ooh, so when I do Ahsoka Tano, I'm a Disney princess. Like, yeah.
My favorite Disney princess.
Yes. But what about you, Allison? What would you say is a really memorable experience for you?
Am I allowed to talk about like my experiences just working? Because I haven't done a lot of Disney cosplays, and like I was planning on doing it in 2020, but we all know what happened there. So I wasn't in a group cosplay. I just have most of my experience, you know, dressing up from my job. And I think there are times where like I get months where the parties are like can be really, really tough on me, and like the kids just aren't into it. And then I get an experience where I'm like, I remember, you know, why I'm doing this. I think I have a lot of bad luck at parties with Aurora in particular, just because parents will hire me as a prop and less of like a character. And so the kids really just aren't into it. But I had one experience that like I still remember where like the kids were just so happy for me to be there. They danced with me like during my song, and like they were just so like I don't know, it was just I'll probably remember that forever just because it was so special.
It's like a really positive experience for you.
Yeah, it was just really amazing. And I think when things get hard, sort of where I'm like, the parties have been really bad, the kids aren't into it, I'm just like, I remember those times where, you know, why I keep doing it. But yeah, and I really want to do more sort of like group cosplays with Disney characters, because group cosplays are fun by itself. So and I love Disney cosplayers. I feel like they're a different breed of cosplayers. And yeah, we like all share our love for Disney, and you know, I have my qualms with Disney. I'm not like, but I love the character so much that, yeah.
Well,
I hope that was a good
like,
example.
they all have like their, I mean, everyone has that thing with Disney where like there's something that just kind of irritates them. And I think that's
I have several
because
things.
they have a sordid history. So, you know.
Yeah. I hope that was a good example. I
Great.
I have less cosplay experience than probably most of you do.
But it's good because you've got the group experience, you've got the professional experience, and you're interacting with people on a professional basis, which is it's a lot different group environment, right? Where like it's not just going around as friends in a group and enjoying yourself and doing whatever you want. You're having a very structured time. Like you probably have 3 or 4 princesses or a prince every time, or some kind of other character, and you're having to be like, okay, you do this at this time, you do this at this time. I'm going to take care of this booth. You're going to take care of that. And so it shows individuals that it's not all just fun and games. There's a lot of work involved too.
Yes. Yeah. You just got to remember that it's like the job just is not for everyone. It seems really glamorous, but like when you're doing, there's just a lot. There's a lot, and I'm sure Kitty Ann, you know this. Like,
well, I can imagine doing 3. Imagine doing some parties in one day. You do like 3 parties in one day, but then you're a different character at each party. So you finish one party, you have to go freshen up your makeup, get into a different outfit, completely switch your mind into that character's role. And so I can't imagine how difficult that would be. Like, yeah.
It's a lot of work to maintain the magic.
It's just like, it can become not fun. Yes. It can become not fun very quickly. And it's just, it's sort of like that at conventions too, where like you hate the cosplay that you did because of how like tiring you were, or like how awful, or like not awful, but just how long that day was at the convention, that you're like, I'm gonna put this cosplay on a long hold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we got a couple comments, and then we'll move on to Head in the Clouds cosplay and kind of talk about like what is your favorite costume, your group cosplay experience. So we've got Novaroon saying, "Hey everybody, hi big little dude." Novaroon is my big little brother. He's 6'6", so he's yeah. Anyways, and then Raul says that my friend wants to do a group cosplay about Star Wars. What advice do you have for first timers like myself who do group cosplays? So if you're gonna do a Star Wars cosplay, if you're doing any sort of makeup, that person goes first. That person, you all like, if they don't know how to do their makeup, I suggest everybody group together and help paint them and seal them and let them walk around while the rest of you get ready. Because as they're walking around, they'll determine what's going to rub off while you're getting dressed. And then once you're dressed, if there's stuff that they need touched up, then you can help them touch up. Understand that if you're a Jedi, it's a little bit easier to walk around. You're more mobile. You've got more movement. Be mindful of where your lightsaber is going to be, because I can't tell you how many times I've whacked a kid in the head by accident. They were excited. They came running up from behind me. I didn't see them, knocked them over. I was like, oh, the Force is strong with me today. But using the Force is really important, or just kind of maintaining, understand that if you're going to do an evil character, tone it down a little bit, because you will scare them. You will scare children, and you can scare adults too. Some adults are still bothered by it. And if you do have someone in your group that's doing paint and some kind of a headpiece or prosthetic, they're going to need more breaks than you. So they're probably going to be stepping away from your group more often than you are. So just be mindful of the space, your surroundings, and getting enough water and rest for individuals who are wearing heavy garments.
I think one of the biggest things for success with any group cosplay is just to set reasonable expectations. Like, the bigger the group is, the less you can kind of plan to do. And that's just the long and short of it. Like, if you have 4 people, it's easier to wrangle yourselves all day to do this, and this. But like for the Amazon group that we did, like, we were literally just meet here, you know, and that's all we did. We did end up walking around afterwards, but like once you get a ton of different moving pieces and stuff like that, you just got to like lower your expectations. You're not going to keep 12 people together all day to do structured events. Like you're going to lose people or gain people or whatnot. So
yeah, setting times and meetup zones, perfect. Yeah. Once you get over 5 people,
yeah,
good luck.
Just don't. Yeah. I've been a part of a group that was like, okay, there's 8 of us and we're going to do this, 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 and this, and it was so not fun because
it ruins the experience.
It really does. And then I didn't want to hang out with those people anymore because I was like, go away. So
I hope it wasn't me because I know I'm organized.
Nah, girl. I'll follow you all day long.
I love you. Yeah. I have this habit of I'm like, here's my plan. You don't have to follow it, but here's my plan because that's
Sam runs groups very well because she's like, this is the most important thing. This is the second most important thing. These are other things we can do and just slot yourself around them. And that tends to be the most successful way of doing groups at conventions because the more parts you have, the more ways it goes haywire.
And I mean, we've done like a group of 9 people with all the evolutions before, and it was quite successful, but it was again just rotating, like who can go where, what can do what. I mean, and we've done, I mean, I've done other, like we've done like the KDA group before, and it's only 4 of us, but I have to tell you, if you're going to do like, for instance, Raya or any kind of, if you're going to do Star Wars or Disney or something that's really popular and it's new, you are going to be stopped more often. So even if you only have a group of 3 or 4 people, you're making it 4 feet and then stopping, 4 feet and then stopping. So be prepared for that too. If you have somewhere you have to be, you need someone in the group who's forceful enough to be like, bye.
Or have handlers. Handlers are the best things ever. If you can have someone in front who's just going and you can all just go behind, you can generally get where you're going a little faster.
You gotta look like you're on a mission.
Have a tank. I am the tank.
I remember it was in 2019. It was the Jinx cosplay. I can't remember, but there was someone in this huge like armor, like suit of armor, like just a huge, I can't remember what it's from.
It was my brother. He was in a power armor.
Brother.
He was in a power armor. Yeah.
Yes, and we were like waiting for them. We were like meeting them somewhere. We weren't in a group or anything, but we were meeting them, and they were taking so long. And it's because they kept getting stopped like literally every 4 seconds because of that huge.
Eventually, what happened was I got to the side of my brother and I went, he needs a water break. We're moving, and I just kept, and that's the only reason why we ended up getting where we needed to go. Is I was like, he needs a water break. He needs a water break. He needs a water break. And everyone's like, oh, okay, because obviously you don't want someone passing out. I'm like, do you want this big thing falling on you? Okay, then get out of the way.
Certain cosplays definitely do need handlers.
So let's get into Head in the Clouds, and then we'll get more to, we have plenty of questions to get through. But Head in the Clouds, what would you say was like your favorite Disney cosplay?
Well, I have 2. It would either be when Kincart shot our Nightmare Before Christmas, like 2 years ago, I think, and we went to the Riparian Reserve in Gilbert, and we had 2 Sallys, 2 Jacks, an Oogie Boogie, Lock, Shock, and Barrel, and like a whole set piece, orange lights. It was absolutely fantastic. Again, don't recommend in the middle of like October here because it's still pretty hot. And I was in a felt costume. I was
you have to do it at night. You really do.
Yeah. And that was a lot of fun. There's some brilliant cosplays and costumes in there. We had so much fun doing that. And then we went to a Halloween party after, so that was fun too.
Ooh.
Me Productions and her brother, Rock, Shock, and Barrel, and it was. I think that was my first like really fun group cosplay. I made the masks, Prue made the costumes. And it was just a joint effort because we all love Halloween, so why not?
Yeah.
And then my other one was my 30th birthday party, which 2 of you guys were at. It was just a Disney Dirty 30. It wasn't dirty, but it was fun. We all went to the park. The idea was basically as a 30-year-old man, I still like Disney. And I wanted to celebrate my inner child as I was getting older. So we all went to the park and took pictures on the playground as Disney characters, which was just a lot of fun. I have a few of them framed in my room. They just make me very happy. Yeah, me and Prue there as Captain Hook and Manessa. That was what this costume was originally debuted with. Kaylee Bow cosplay over there. She did Ariel for my birthday with me. And then there's one shot. I wonder if you can find it. Yeah, I love those. With some of us as Disney villains. But yeah, that was another fun one. And there's a difference between both of those weren't at cons, which was a different experience on its own. You're in the public walking around and you're getting stares. But then people kind of get into it, and once I told them, it's my birthday, I'm just being silly and enjoying my inner child. They were having fun and taking pictures with us. So it was a lot of fun.
Yep.
That sounds like fun.
I remember there's like one where like we're on the playground too. I wonder if I
that was my favorite one. That's the one I have hanging in my room.
Is it here somewhere? I don't know where it is. Like I'll find it someday. But like
yeah, okay.
It was hilarious. We were just like literally hanging around on this freaking playground, and
I think if you scroll back, because I haven't posted much during 2020, so it's not too far down.
It shouldn't be too far down. I think you posted it, didn't you? I think it was after this though, because
it was. Yeah, it's okay.
It's okay. You get to see all of Matt's cosplays.
Yay.
I also did like that one too. I did with Prue for Tucson Comic-Con with a friend. We did Gender Bent Belle and Gaston for Tucson, which was a lot of fun.
That's so cool.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I mean, that's the thing too, is with Disney cosplay, like, don't be afraid to just kind of go out and experience it and have fun. I know a lot of people in the pandemic that like literally went out in full stormtrooper outfits and just went grocery shopping because they got a whole
It's
like it was great.
Favorite.
I mean, why not? So we have some comments too about this has already been asked, but have you guys done any Disney mashups? Yes. I've done let me see if I have a picture. I think I do. But I've done Disney Sailor Merida. So like Sailor Moon and Merida. Oh yeah, I found it. So that I've done that. And then we've done, I swear I've done a mashup with people together. But
I don't think I've done a mashup. I've just done straight Disney characters.
I think it's really interesting with Disney because so many of the princesses and characters do have kind of a simple but defined silhouette that Disney, especially the princesses and superheroes, really lend themselves well to really iconic crossovers. So you're going to see just nonstop crossovers with things. And in a way that you can still look at them and be like, oh, I know what that is.
Exactly.
And you're also working on your Mando Merida.
I'm trying to find a picture of my Mando Merida. I thought I posted it here, but why can't I? This is a problem when Sam posts too many things because I do actually post a lot. But yeah, this is the armor that was printed by Cynox Studios, and I have been slowly but surely, here it is. So I actually, that bottom skirt is now become a cape because it looks way cooler as a cape. But I'm actually like 50% there now because I just ran into some problems. And that's one thing too, when you're mashing up characters, as you're going along, sometimes you're like, You're like, wait, I need to change that. That needs to change.
There's so many talented people in this chat. Oh my gosh. I could literally never even dream of making my own cosplay like that.
I have way too many costumes in progress right now, Allison. Like I have 3 costumes in progress: a Toothless, a Mando Merida, and one I'm not talking about.
Ooh.
I have so many. I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, that's okay. I'm just extremely impressed because I really could never, ever.
But that's great too because you are an example of the fact that you don't have to build to be a cosplayer, you know.
No, I think that was the reality. Like I don't know, because Jessica was talking about, or the Jinx cosplay was talking about how long she's been in cosplay, and that at the beginning there wasn't that many options and you really had to like make everything, but now you can really kind of buy everything, which isn't ideal. I wish that I would put in any kind of practice into making literally anything, but you can buy pretty much anything.
Some people don't like to buy. They prefer to put all of their effort in the performance. And so they do a lot of skits and contests and performance art. Other people like me are just not built the same as other humans. Have a much wider frame in general, and so nothing fits me right. Matt understands. Matt and I are just like in the same cursed area where I'm like almost 5'10", and I have like broad shoulders for a woman. So it's like I either wear stretchy shirts or no, like I make my own shirts. So like sometimes it's just you start creating out of necessity, right?
Yeah,
and then also other times, go ahead.
Yeah, and also I used to follow, or I still follow, a cosplayer who only did like gender bent, like Disney princesses. And if you have a vision and you can't find it, you can't. Sometimes the visions are like so specific that you literally can't buy it anywhere. And so like if you're doing a lot of gender bent mashup sort of stuff like that, you probably will have to make it. But yeah.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing too. Like that's where, like, if you're not a good crafter, go to a thrift store or secondhand store, and that's where hot glue and pinning and like Cosbon. I didn't paint this one. Okay, I'm just gonna be honest here, guys. Anyway, that's where like stuff like Cosbon.
You made it 50 minutes into the stream before you gave up.
You were
so close.
It was so close. My hands to talk. It's so hard. But you have stuff like Cosbon, which is a cosplay adhesive that works really, 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 really well on fabric and foam. So you can use Cosbons to modify things too. So you could buy a vest and paint it with some fabric paint and then glue it together with some Cosbon, and you've got a costume. Like you still put work into it. I mean, thrifting is almost harder than shopping because you have to go to so many places just to find what you're looking for.
This vest was thrifted and dyed and altered. I didn't make any piece of this except for this. So
yeah, that's amazing.
Awesome crown.
This is actually my partner's Renaissance Festival outfit. I didn't have time to make a vest, so I was like,
recycle. Why not?
I would have never known. That's amazing.
Well, I mean, and a lot of Disney characters. A lot of Disney characters wear clothing that is actually available pretty much anywhere. Usually it's pretty easy to wear. A lot of the casual stuff, especially the more modern movies where it's a lot easier to just like, you can put it on and you're done. But if you letting everybody know if you have any questions, we're getting about 8 minutes out to completion. So please go ahead and start posting questions in the comments area. We've had a lot of comments, a lot of people saying they're following, they're really excited. They've done groups. Some of them say like, dehydration. Yes, that's one thing. Disney princesses specifically too, where they're wearing hoop skirts and tulle underlayers, and
just because it's a dress doesn't mean it's any less hard to wear than the
10 pounds of skirt. So stay hydrated, stay fed. Make sure you have an escape plan for using the bathroom. Like make sure you have someone to take the excess parts of your garment for you, or you have one of those little skirts underneath that ties everything up. Yeah. So, and we've had people say that they do like a lot of modifying, and then some people say that they'll buy half of it and then they'll thrift or make the rest of it. That's the thing, is cosplay is subjective. So like whatever you feel comfortable doing, go for it. Honestly, don't let anyone judge you for like creating cosplays that make you feel comfortable too. And that is one problem with the Disney community, is it is a bit more criticized than some of the other cosplay communities. So like Star Wars and Disney have this problem with individuals criticizing how individuals put together their costumes. So have any of you faced criticism, and how did you overcome it, so that we can give some of our viewers some advice? Oh no, look at the faces.
I'm such a pushover. Unless it's directed to somebody that's like my friend or something, then I'll be a bit more But if somebody says something and they're trying to give me suggestions, I'll say, wow, thank you so much for your input, even though like I already know, but it's just kind of things, or everyone wants
not necessarily being a pushover. You're just kind of de-escalating the situation in a way that's most comfortable for you. You're like, thanks for your input, and then you're moving on, and that's fine.
I'm just severely submissive.
And that's okay, because that's the thing too, like everyone's personality is different, right? So not everyone's gonna be like, excuse me, and then punch a person out. So that's not good. We don't want assault. So sometimes, yeah, saying, hey, thanks for your input, or I appreciate where this is coming from, but this is my vision and this is how I embody this character.
Allow me to give you something to practice. Thank you, but I'm not looking for input.
Yep.
Oh, you're so good.
And I mean, I could talk for a whole hour about the issue of elitism in costuming, especially in Star Wars and Disney, because both of them have the same problem where once you create a club or in the Disney aspect, these princess parties, it creates this false hierarchy. And people who are in those clubs or who are doing it professionally sometimes forget that not everyone wants to be held to their standard. And I can't count the number of times I've seen it happen, especially with Star Wars. I'm gonna call out my Mandos because I know my clan here doesn't do it, but I have seen instances where Mandos approach like crossover Mandos and go, it's good, but you need to change this, this, and this. And what they mean is if you want to be approved with the Mando mercs, you need to change these things without regarding whether or not that's what that person wants. So my go-to is just thanks, but I'm not looking for input.
Yeah.
And that generally shuts the conversation down and moves it up. So
we have a question too. So that's like the perfect, there you go, perfect response right there. Well, we have a question. Any tips with a hoop skirt? I want to purchase one for princess dresses. Should I get layered or poofed, or should I do a wired?
Depending on the dress, did they say what dress?
What dress are you wearing, Michelle? Let us know. Or what you want to wear. I personally like tulle, so I like it because I can't handle. So I don't like my motion being impeded upon hoop skirts. Cause too much, like they restrict me too much. So like I prefer having like the tulle underskirt with all of the ruffled layers because I can easily rip that thing off and go running if I need to, or I can still move in it. Like I can still move in it, right? And like they're usually not that heavy. But they're waiting for Michelle to see what they post. But what do you prefer, Allison? Like what's your Princess Peach is what she's trying to do.
Oh.
Probably hoop, huh? Princess Peach?
Depending, I've seen so many different Princess Peach cosplays where, because she doesn't actually have like a huge skirt, I think, like in the actual, it's kind of big, but it's not like Belle big, you know? But I have seen people use like huge hoop skirts for Princess Peach. So it's honestly like the look that you're going for. You could do like a tulle one, but that might not give you as much volume. If you want like a ton of volume, a lot of like, you know, just huge skirt energy, you probably should go for probably like a 2-ring, 3-ring, 4-ring hoop skirt. 5 rings are kind of big. I don't know how big the dress is or how big you're making it or which, you know, how big the dress is, but I like hoop skirts depending on the dress, but the tulle ones are so flowy that it's so nice. Yeah.
And I would say if it's your first time with the hoop skirt, probably stick with the 2-ring, just because you got to get used to how it like weighs, and you'll want to add straps to the bottom that you can pull up and tie around your body so that when you use the bathroom, everything's lifted up and you're not having to fight it.
I refuse to use the restroom like while I'm like in the whole skirt and hoop skirt thing, just because it's impossible to not. Yeah, that's messy. That's awful.
And please pad your hoop skirt.
Yeah.
I hate when I see, like, it's just one of those simple things is if you have a hoop skirt, make sure you've got enough material so that it makes it look soft and squishy and not just hoop.
And like, how would you suggest padding? Do you just put like a layer of like fabric foam around it? How do you pad it?
Oh, like you can buy like petticoats and stuff like that go over. My cheap ass has just used layers of tulle in the past. Just an additional fabric layer to soften it all out. And tulle is pretty light. So
Yeah.
So we've got a couple other comments. Sita says that she loves Kitty Ann and very incredible cosplay streamer. And then Chris says that kind of scary looking, not very approachable. She's not had any problems with criticism. That helps if you have like one of those faces or imposing features. Like, I don't know. I swear I have like nice person written across my head because I am like in my costumes, I'm usually around 6 feet tall, but I still get like people flocking to me. I don't know. So I understand, Kitty Ann, when you're like, hi.
There's also layers of gender and presentation and stuff like that go into how often this happens. I definitely get talked to more if I'm in a sexier or simpler cosplay than I do if I'm in my full Twi'lek. So there's layers to why you may or may not get it.
Yeah.
But having that, thanks, but I'm not looking for input, is just
the best way to do it.
I like that.
So before we close up, because we're getting pretty much, we're going to be a little bit over, but that's okay. Why don't we have everybody say, we'll start with Head in the Clouds Cosplay. Where can people reach you? And then what is your dream Disney cosplay? Oh, no, it's so
hard. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook. I also have an art page that's Head in the Paints, as well as on Instagram and Facebook, where I'm just like my artwork versus, I mean, this is still artwork, but you know, on a canvas. And then dream cosplay would be this, but octopus form, which will happen one day. I hope, if I can figure out how to do it, but I would love to do like a transformation or something on stage. So like when I said earlier, like this is legitimately my favorite Disney character. Like I go hard for Ursula.
Manessa to Manursula. There you go. Awesome. Cool. Thank you. Allison, where can people reach you? And what would you say is a dream cosplay for you?
I'm mostly on Instagram. That's where my main cosplay thing is. I have a Facebook, but it's mostly for just my personal. So you're not really going to find anything interesting on there. My dream cosplay, I think I talked about it earlier. It's Snow White. I've never done Snow White before. I want to do Snow White and literally all of her costumes. But I also, it's been a while since I've done Rapunzel. That would be another dream one to do. Just Rapunzel's amazing. I'm trying to think. My answers are kind of boring in comparison to Ursula.
Rapunzel's great. I love Rapunzel.
Yeah, I love Rapunzel.
Her hair is like that's a hard thing to do on its own and keep on your head. So
yes, there's just a lot of amazing like wig creators that I've been following for such a long time that they make such gorgeous Rapunzel braids that I'm just like, I need to hold on to my money for just a little longer. But yeah, I think those would, I don't know, I'm trying to think. I think that's my final answer.
Snow White and Rapunzel are good because they're not as simple as people think. They have like hidden difficulties in each of them. Yeah. So yeah, no, that works. Thank you.
Snow White was literally like the first animated feature. She is the OG princess. She is why we have everybody.
Yeah.
So
a lot of people hate on her, but yes.
So Kitty Ann, where can people reach you, and what would be your dream Disney cosplay?
Oh, okay. Oh, so let's see. Ooh, words. You can find me on Instagram at Craftily Ever Crafter. I also last year I started being a part-time video game streamer on Facebook Gaming, so you can also find me on Craftily Ever Crafter there. I play some games and occasionally dress up in cosplay, which is fun. It's like the best of both worlds. A dream Disney cosplay. That's so hard. I just want... I feel like every time I watch a movie, like I want to be that character. The first thing I can think of is like the Fantasia, that green spirit thing.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I just realized what you're talking about. That would be amazing.
Fantasia 2000, yeah.
Or a centaur, because I think they're so cool.
Yeah.
Don't steal my answer.
I'll be the green thing.
Okay.
All right, Amber.
I am Amber Brite on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and I am now on TikTok. If you want to go watch me be super friggin' awkward on TikTok. Right now it's mostly Harley and Rio and Cat Noir. So like that's what I've got up there. But I also have a website, amberbriteprops.com. And my dream cosplay is one of the freaking centaurs from the original Fantasia. Just because they're so, I remember just how horrible blatant racism in that segment aside. I loved how like just pastoral and pretty, and
They're so pretty.
I think that was one of those things where I look back and I go, oh my God, Amber, you are so gay, but you know.
Amber, I'll be your butt. You let me know.
So you can find me at thermocosplay.com. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Instructables. The list proceeds. YouTube, Twitch. It's long. So just go to thermocosplay.com. You'll find it. And dream cosplay for me is Queen Eleanor from Brave.
Ooh.
Oh my god!
Yeah, I really want to be Queen Eleanor.
I hardly ever see that cosplay.
I already do Merida, so like, why don't I do her mom?
The hair. Oh, I can't even imagine.
That's the thing, is her hair is intense, and I'm just like, outfit not too bad. Hair is like,
so you'd be human form.
Yeah, and
Just
you guys
imagine
have
hair like, oh.
velvet outfits. Like hers is like full wool too.
and I'm allergic to wool.
Oh, no.
So we'll find something else. Like I'll find a similar material, but yeah. Well, it's not technically the fiber I'm allergic to, it's what they treat the fiber with. But yeah, so thank you all for joining us today. Again, thank you, our guests, Head in the Clouds Cosplay, Princess Sweet Pea, and Craftily Ever Crafter. Next week we will be on, I think next week is Magical Girls? Is it? Oh dear God. I guess I can tell you guys what it is, right? You guys want to know what we're doing next week? Because I'm like woefully unprepared at the moment. But I'm just going to open this up and tell you what next week is, because I keep everything planned. So next week is Magical Girls, and I will be reaching out to the guests. So we will be talking about Magical Girl cosplay, and that is another... Oh gosh, we're going to talk about groups. Holy crap. Well, yay, you just transformed. But thank you all for coming today. We will see you again next week, and have a wonderful Sunday. Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Cosplay on, guys.